It's finally here, ladies and gentlemen, a game I think we've all been waiting for far too long. Welcome to Realm of the Mad God Exalt. It's like Realm, but better. While this port has been a long time coming, and when I say a long time coming, I mean a long time coming, I do want to say thank you to Deca for rushing the working port, because it probably wasn't their plan to release the beta or even the open beta this month, but thank you, Deca, for seeing this social distancing and hundreds of thousands of people in quarantine and rushing your production so that we could all spend a little more time doing the things that we love, which of course is playing Realm. Now, some would say it was a marketing ploy, but honestly I think it's just Deca trying to listen to their community and work alongside it. Now let's get into the gameplay. Upon downloading and playing the beta for the first time, I was pleasantly surprised by the UI changes. I had seen it in videos, but playing it was like a whole new game, and I really like it. A couple things that were really obvious at first was the fluid gameplay. I don't know if it was just me, or maybe I was tired so everything seemed fluid anyways, but I hadn't played this confidently in Realm in a long time. It seemed like every move that I made responded immediately, and it was just so nice to have an instant reaction with very little lag. While I was only able to play for a little bit due to my demanding schedule, I did notice that when your health goes below a certain amount, there is red screen on the edges. That's a really nice touch, and it allows you to have less focus on the bar to the right and more focus on your gameplay. Aside from the really obvious UI changes, there was also a lot of subtle quality of life changes that really stuck out to me. Like hitting spacebar to enter a dungeon. I don't know if that was a thing before the beta, but I really like that feature. It may make me sound lazy, but I really don't like moving my mouse and taking my eyes off the screen just to enter a dungeon. I also really like the streamlining of character swapping. That was a nice touch. And don't even get me started on the music. Man, I love the soundtrack. Everything about it is great. I especially love the Vault soundtrack. I don't know what it is about it. It's just so relaxing. While I was chasing a keeper in the realm, I stumbled upon a beer god. Now, I'm not sure when it was buffed, but this new buff was really cool to fight. I don't know if maybe it was because I'd never seen it before, but it was a fun fight, and overall I really enjoyed it. And while it might not be a huge UI change, I love the fact that the numbers from the damage text bounce a little. That was a really nice touch. But overall, I think Deca is doing an awesome job. There were a couple glitches that I encountered. The first was this inventory glitch. I'm not really sure how it occurred or why it occurred, but it's been doing it consistently. Every time that I open up the game after about 10 minutes of gameplay, some of the inventory slots become unusable. And it's not just the inventory, sometimes it's the bag on the ground or maybe even the vaults. I'm not sure what triggers it, but it's very similar to the old Realm, where if you were dragging something across your screen from the ground and somebody else picked it up, then it would get stuck on your screen until you restarted your game. Another thing was in the ice cave. I'm not sure how many other enemies do this, but when I was hitting the little cross tower enemy things, then the damage numbers weren't showing up over the top for the first maybe 3 seconds. While it's not a huge deal, it did make me wonder if I was hitting it at all, but then I saw the health bar decreasing and I thought, I'm probably hitting it. I really like this new realm, and surprisingly there were very few things that I could think of that could improve the gameplay. But there were a couple things that could be improved as far as aesthetics go. The first thing that I noticed was the sprites in your vault and your backpack lack some sort of shadow or depth to them, so it makes it blend into the background. Now, I'm not really sure how to fix that. Maybe adding some sort of shadow to them would be helpful, but it did stick out as the biggest thing aesthetically. Another thing is the Fog of War. The Fog of War has been really controversial since its introduction, but it's slowly been improving over time. A lot of people are saying that they're not a huge fan of the Fog of War, and that's understandable. It's difficult to get used to, and when you have a better sense of the battlefield, it's harder to fight when the sprites are cutting in and out all the time. A lot of people don't like it, but none of them are really suggesting anything to improve it. I spent a lot of time thinking about it, and I think that if they do a blindness similar to the Beholder's blindness, except you can still see the ground fairly clearly, just the sprites of the enemies are darker, that would really improve your view, and I think a lot of people would like that better than the current Fog of War that just cuts the sprites out immediately. Those were the only glitches that I encountered, and honestly I'm really impressed. Thank you again, Deca, for pushing this release. I am super pleased with it, and I know a lot of other players are. A lot of people who have been playing Realm since the beginning, like myself, are really pleased to see it get such a rework, and it's an awesome rework. So props to you guys, and I'm looking forward to the final product. If you guys encountered any glitches or anything along those lines, make sure to report them so that they can be fixed in the future. I know that it doesn't always seem like your voice matters, but Deca is listening, and they do want to improve the game. So make sure to submit them so that we can all have better gameplay, and we can all have fun together. With that being said, I will take my leave, so thank you guys so much for watching, and until I see you in the field, happy hunting!